You know what time it is. Everybody's favorite time. Your favorite movie star's time. Your favorite rapper's time. Your favorite actor's time. Your favorite television star's time. Making sure I hit all the ends if someone says, I'm not a movie star. Your favorite producer's time. Your favorite executive producer's time. Your favorite CEO's time. Your favorite business mogul's time. You know what it is. Commenter Nation, stand up. It is that time. You see, now is a special time of all times because there's been a certain subject since the beginning. People have been screaming out. A certain person people have been mentioning the entire time. Obviously, they know who they are because, Zard isn't shaded. I honestly reached out and mentioned things briefly, but I'm objective with it. So I don't have no, let's say, persuasion in doing things, making media a certain way. So I stayed patient and I watched and I watched and I watched and I watched. I've spoken something to them before. I said things. I threw hints about different situations and thoughts and mind frames. See, my subliminals were the best subliminals because I kept it all the way real. Where some people may not do things that very way and have others believing a certain thing. But that's a conversation for another time. What is it that I'm talking about? Who is it that I'm talking about? We've recently seen the release of Travis Scott and Drake's song Sicko Mode. I have a lot of people telling me they were strong subliminals in their opinion. We've seen one of Tentacion's friends react, a few others react in a certain way, and now I guess we could tell what's genuine. Hey, I have a quick question real quick. Why is it shortly after, before I even go there, let me say this first off. Did we not see Ski Mask and he adds the slump god to his name in a photo with this very person people are patronizing? Did we not see him in a photo shortly after the incident? So why didn't anyone speak up then? Because I seen you in a photo with this very person that's being persecuted now. Why was that of no importance? I mean, to be real with you, when I seen that and I knew the proximity and friendship that these guys had, and then I seen what Tentacion said about this man, I said to myself, well, he doesn't seem too pressured. He's okay with it. So what are we really talking about, But then when I realized he had people that he actually spent every waking moment with, like Tank, in his response to this song coming out, it brought me back to reality and thinking like, wait, my perception of proximity and who was really that friendship atmosphere for him may not have been who I thought they were. Then I looked back through the argument that this Ski Mask character had with him. And I thought to myself, the same person that I saw in the picture with who's being persecuted now. And it made me think. But before I even get to that part, let's get to some other parts. Before I even go there with my thought chatter. So, in Sicko Mode, what is Sicko Mode? You want to know what I think sick? How a bunch of rappers get caught with certain things. Like, I mean weapons and all sorts of things. But these guys end up getting off. How does that happen? Because I know for a fact, if you're a felon and you got caught with some of the things that I've recently seen some artists get caught for, how do they even get bail? That's what I'm confused on. Let's be real. Think at a citizen's level. Think at a man. Think of this level. How do you get off? How? Don't tell me it's because of the money. How? Because being a felon, getting caught with what some of you get caught with, I still don't get how you get free. Your lawyer must have tactics that come out of the Art of War book that Czar has read. It has to be. There's no other way. Listen, your favorite rapper must have some special skill that alleviates all tension around them. There's no other way they get out. That's a little confusing to me. And some of you may be like, how does that link? Some of you are like, you see exactly why I'm saying this. Understand there's a point to everything. Now let's go back because, just like any good fight, there's more arsenal to the skill than just what's being presented. Now let's go back to the song itself. They're saying there was subliminals in there where Drake was allegedly alluding to Tentacion in the song Sicko Mode. But wait, there's other songs that people are saying he's alluding to that person or a situation, which I'm well aware of. But again, it's speculation, guys. We're objective. It's speculation. But why so many times about this person? Why so many times? Even before the tragedy and incident, we've seen the subliminals that people were alleging to have occurred. Why? What was the person? But then again, let me slide back over here. I see someone who claimed to be a good friend taking pictures with this man. So why do they get a pass in this situation? But everybody comes at somebody who's making subliminals if someone who stood next to him and stood there when bad happened to him, even stood up for him when he was mentioned at the BET award ceremony. Why was he never questioned why he took a picture with the person? But now we're accepting their whole vibe and energy towards the situation. Off of what I'm seeing, in my opinion, the realest reaction to this situation, time and time again, and I stayed quiet, was Tank. That was the realest reaction I've seen to someone who cares. In every single situation. See, I didn't come out and talk about it because I just watched. But then I see some people pictured with the person that's being alleged. Then I see the same person who's being alleged to the subliminals not even showing up around certain people. That's very telling to me. And that's what's confusing to me. I'm trying to understand that. I'm trying to understand it. And I don't throw subliminal shots at you guys. I said things directly to them if I was going to mention a situation in some way. I asked you very specific questions, and I directed it to Drake. I asked him a question, and I directed it to Ski Mask. I asked him a question. Neither answered. You're smart for that. Because if you do watch the All Rights Reserve, your answer would have told me more than you were even willing to say, because that's how my mind works. You just have to answer a simple question, and off of that, I can literally perceive answers to questions that you'd have that I'd ask in the future. I can't explain that to you. It's just what it is. It's how it works. So you didn't answer the question. You didn't fall for that part. But seeing you post on Twitter at all answers, let's say, with a 25% of the same power versus the 100% of how my skill works. I still get, but it's not enough to proceed through the objectivism of what we're talking about. That may not make sense to some. You'll get it later. So here's what I need to understand. Sicko Mode. Now, Travis Scott is in the song. He has been seen on stage giving a shout out to Tentacion. There actually is two ways that can go. I believe it was earnest. I believe he honestly meant it. I believe that. But if we want to be objective with it and look at the other side, it could have been mocking right before the video dropped. Because we know that this case is still unsolved, being investigated, and his name holds a lot of weight still until we get some type of resolution. Now, if you think you're going to get the resolution you're looking for through these suspects, you're still in the dark on everything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just a fact. Okay? And that's if you didn't know. But the one thing that keeps plaguing my mind, this one thing, if I am to believe that these four men were solely responsible The one thing that I continually ask myself, how did investigators know who to chase down, how, and when? That question is an age-old question. You could say video, you could say whatever you want, but even looking at that, how could you link the 2 men inside to the 2 men outside? How'd you do it? How'd you do it? I have one theory that I'll drop. Is that if I'm to presume that you did know these men did it, and you did not use video up front, my thoughts will be that there was some way in methodology that someone else may have actually been involved, escaped, and these were fall guys. Nonetheless, maybe not in the way that I predicted, but they are fall guys nonetheless. They are. That's just what it is. And we've seen the evidence of a fall guy time and time and time and time again. Let me ask, how far does money go dealing with the system versus justice? That's a very good question. How far does money go? Because one of the witnesses that I've seen before mentioned on something that I even began to speak on before, I've seen them on a list, but their last name differs from the last name I remember. Why is that? Because I can tell you that I have good memory. And the photos I was matching to the names, what I'm seeing now is a different name. So for me to say, oh, it has to do with the industry, it's something because guys are going for subliminals. No, it's a bit deeper than that, guys. It's not just the industry. Remember, we already seen investigators hit for being involved in the situation somehow, some way. So what is there to say those were the only 2 individuals on the side of law that were interacting to cover up or mingle in this situation? Think. What? There was 2 guys that were rogue, just covering it all up. And there was no one that was above them, related to them with power, that knew exactly what they were doing, exactly what was happening. But because things got foiled, they needed fall guys. You see how the fall guy game works? The fall guy game is a very explicit game. It is, I hire you to do something. If you do not complete it in the manner in which it needs done, you are a fall guy. That goes for investigation. That goes for any type of interaction in a setup, a cover-up, some type of unique dealings. This is not new. This is not new. Except we're letting the title of somebody, get what I'm about to say so you get this. The title and the stature of someone dictate what justice is. Not that they did something wrong, but because of who they are, they could not have done that. Because of what they do, they could not have meant it. Because of who they are to this case. This brings me back to Reva Motorsports. Are you telling me there were 0 people affiliated with Reva Motorsports that knew he was showing up? 0. There were nobody in Reva Motorsports knew he was showing up. So there's no one that could have called him for a pickup, right? To come pick something up. No one. No one. He wasn't there with one of the alleged people at an earlier point ever, taking pictures with them, right? That's not possible. That's not, nope. He's never showed up with any of the people in the store that were on that video ever to Reva Motorsports, right? Am I right or wrong? Yet, everybody's so focused on Sicko Mode. Yes, The Subliminals may be a part, maybe, allegedly. But what does that have to do with the questioning that needs to happen to Reva Motorsports, to the people who witnessed it and said they know what happened around it? Why are they loosely involved? Where is his phone? Where is Tentacion's phone? Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Where's his phone? Oh, it's a game, Leo. Where's his phone? If all of this is so true, where's his phone? Because that would tell us what actually may have been going on, right? Who he last contacted, who was contacting him. You didn't check the phones of the person who was the passenger at all. Y'all are such good investigators. Amazing. Amazing. Commenter Nation, stand up. All rights reserved.